This type of baits is mentioned along with spoons in ancient books on fishing gear. And there are grounds for that. The past of the vibes is as long and ancient as the lure's history. They are just deceptively simple and were used from immemorial time under the same conditions and circumstances, for fishing on simple straight retrieve and now for vertical ice fishing. The growth in number of vibes in catalogs of eminent companies attests to positive developments in the vibration group in the course of natural selection by anglers around the world. In other words, baits evolve, thereby expanding the range of their application. Nevertheless, a novice fisherman gets only a meager amount of catalog information, sometimes understandable only to a professional, and sometimes even contradictory. The reason is the same evolution. After all, out the fishing lures habitual to the fishing world for casting, trolling and for vertical fishing, some baits have turned into truly all-season lures, which can and should be used in summer and winter. But the opinion of an amateur of ice fishing can differ significantly from judgment of angler who fish only open water, just because they appreciate very different properties of vibes. Those vibes which will be discussed are wobblers, but they do what the standard wobblers just are not given. It is known that a good vibe is easy to manage and provides the beginner with the necessary bait contact. Kalikana vibe and V.I.B vibe, in contrast to all vibes that existed before they appeared, were originally developed for ice fishing. There are the models that are suitable for this purpose optionally, but there were none of them which characteristics were conceived immediately for this task. Experienced anglers never forget about vibration group of wobblers. Those who understand the physics of the baits can fully reveal its potential in various ways and types of animation. For them, vibration is the only type of wobblers in demand throughout the year, with a casting or bottom jig, with horizontal or vertical presentation, both for open water and ice fishing. These are Kalikana V.I.B and V.I.B. Such wide application and possibilities are explained by constructive solutions that differ markedly from classical wobblers. The bait attachment loop is located on top of the backrest, and many believe that this is the only thing that makes a vibe the vibe. A graceful oblong body of the bait seems to be created for sliding in the water column, and more often does not have the flatness of resistance like a wobbler bait. Taking into account the weight of the vibe, it becomes mysterious what reason force a vibe to play in completely different types of presentation. In this way, the meaning of V.I.B acronym is verified. Very important bait. It's all about balancing, hidden in a compact and elegant body that sometimes has a very solid weight, compared to the same size wobbler. That is the balance of the bait and not the catchy colors and pretentious shapes with bloodthirsty eyes that determines an amount of takes, the visual and receptorial attractiveness of the V.I.B. By the way, vibes of various manufacturers and models differ among themselves, with the ability to work in a horizontal or vertical plane. In most cases, either one or another. However, combinations are possible and successfully implemented in Pontoon 21 V.I.B series. A distinctive feature of universal all-season vibes of the Kalikana and V.I.B series is their strict horizontal orientation. Such vibration will show itself for predator fishing from the shore or from the boat, as well as for ice fishing. At vertical presentation, the outer contact coupled with the internal balancing of these vibes causes them to turn always their heads in direction of movement. Thanks to design features, they have rapid response to both horizontal pulls and vertical jerks. In both cases, narrow body of a compact bait instantly generates a powerful wave of vibration. Vibes have their own special frequency that is not available even for other hot baits of close dimensions. V.I.B and Kalikana V.I.B have two profiles of sound. Silent, designed for extremely cautious fish, and fishermen, fond of conservative sound. Simply put, a sound is created only by vibration of the bait in the water. And the quiet but distinct mid-frequency rattle of nano-sound variant, produced in addition to vibration by an internal ball, is addressed to an active predator and a fisherman who wants to find fish parking quickly, for example at the competition. When developing Kalikana V.I.B and V.I.B, special attention was paid to precise alignment of trebles. After all, we are talking about the bait, which should be used for casting and horizontal presentations in open water. It's to pass near the bottom structure and through underwater obstacles, like any classy high-end V.I.B. Also in winter, these models should glide without tangling the line. That's what turned out as a result. In other words, vibration group lures have a set of factors that distinguish them from the usual wobblers, and Kalikana V.I.B and V.I.B have properties that distinguish them from the usual V.I.Bs. And these particular properties are those triggers to convert the number of presentations into takes very effectively. It's all about nuances of swim partner. While fishing open waters, many faced a situation, even on a familiar reservoir, when migrating predator ignores spots and horizons that were successful before. One can start a new search with a jig bait, a wobbler or a spoon, but all these baits are limited in their abilities, both in tempo and horizon of presentation. A soft bait, for example. On fall of the hook, it does not have the effect which V.I.B is endowed with. We mean strobing motion. That is short and frequent flickers, accompanied by disturbance of water, which induce predator to attack. At the same time, V.I.B, being a long-range casting bait, will provide an effective search of water area and quickly scans water column at different depth. V.I.B belongs to a search bait family. The high-end V.I.B is really able to replace and surpass the wobblers by speed, and at the same time successfully imitates hops and falls of a jig bait, as well as the casting distance range and fast retrieve of a spoon. It's worth noting that in literature, primarily of North America, you will soon find vibrations next to spoons, but some often put them next to wobblers. But in this comparison, one should pay attention that wobblers do not have a frequency of vibrations similar to V.I.Bs. In the field of application, V.I.Bs can be compared to sinking minnow wobblers, but they are inferior to V.I.B in the range of casting and speed of immersion on a pores. In addition, a sinking minnow is more limited in the horizon and is not always able to withstand the tempo of presentation, breaking off the course and losing the appeal of swim part, for example on fast retrieve against strong current. A V.I.B allows faster presentation and crisper animation than the usual wobbler. We have already mentioned that a jig bait on a fall cannot reproduce an effect of strobing motion, like Kalikana and V.I.Bs do, short and frequent flashes of reflected light. Should be added that these V.I.Bs have one more feature, the micro-pulsing fall effect that baits creates on a fall, impulses perceived by the fish. These properties activate the predator's hunting instinct. Despite its considerable weight, in comparison with similar sizes of wobblers, both series of V.I.Bs can be called delicate baits, if one has in mind accuracy and acuity of sensations transmitted to an angler. The frequency of vibration loads both the rod and the reel on straight retrieve, which provides the fisherman with a full control over the bait that will not let him miss a take. The combination of a compact body and weight maintains a reliable connection between a fisherman and the bait. And if horizontal presentation implies speed at which temperament of V.I.B appears, then ice fishing is a thoughtful and leisurely presentation, like cold, peaceful winter. It's hard to say who and where figured out to try the V.I.B for ice fishing. Perhaps the reason was a certain similarity with the balancer at the place where the bait is clipped on. perhaps successful fishing from coastal rocks. In general, something prompted fishermen that the characteristics of the vibe can make it the same successful bait for winter. They were not mistaken. It is possible that there are way more YouTube videos about catching exotic fish with vibes than those clips with pike, perch or walleye and trout, where a vibe is the protagonist. Although for sure, this type of ice fishing for many looks no less exotic, at least because the vibes, in their opinion, for such fishing are not intended. Thus things have been happening till the appearance of the Kalikana and Betai vibes. Prior to their emergence, anglers tried to find out those vibes that could deviate sideways on upward jogs at vertical fishing. Kalikana and Betai vibes, each of series from the smallest to the largest ones, are capable of maximum deviation, with the inherent vibration and sound. And this movement, we recall, is also accompanied by the effect of strobing motion, which is not presented in most winter baits. A fisherman can choose a model with two sound profiles, nana sound and noiseless, silent. The tactics accepted by professionals may be recommended. Vibe nana sound serves to attract fish to the ice hole. After catching the most active predators, one should change for vibe silent to catch the most cautious fish. On the drop, these vibes glide deviating from vertical trajectory. The trajectory of the fall is close to the surface of an inverted cone, gradually narrowing to a complete stop. Throughout up and down cycle, the bait, due to design, always turns its head in the direction of movement, simulating a wounded or runaway fish. On the bait planning, the effect of micropulsing fall is manifested. Micropulsations which are imperceptible to humans, but clearly perceived by the predator receptors. That gives these models a greater similarity to a living object. The disease of many winter baits is their trebles tangling the line at the drop. Thanks to the calibrated balance and location of the hooks, Kalikana and Betai vibes have this annoying problem minimized. These models are representatives of the most modern generation of ancient type of vibration baits. They are all seasoned and can be said to be omnivorous. These baits, skillfully executed, brilliantly teasing, attracting and awakening predator from winter anabioses. With respect to Kalikana and Betai vibe of Pontoon 21, the interpretation of V.I.B is especially relevant. That very important bait.